I have to have a job until I can not afford to go to work for somebody anymore, so because I can make more money doing what I'm doing, whether it be running a business or doing trading, either or. You have to submit yourself to that idea. And some of the young folks out there, like, I'm going to quit my job. I see somebody out there all the time. New suggestion. ICT said, quit your job in 90 days trading this silver bullet. I said I could. That doesn't mean you're absolutely going to be able to. But if you had the right mindset, can someone do that? Yeah. Can someone do that if they're making $250,000 a year? They have mortgages out their ass, college tuitions they're paying off with their kid, a wife that spends money like mine does. You can't do that. You can't. So there's levels to this, okay? And you can't just do a umbrella attachment to everything that either I say or anyone else says about trading. You have to make sure it fits you. And what I do and how I teach, I make it scalable so that way you can take everything that I teach and make it applicable to you. Unless I say something specific about Forex being the only way it works here for this, or if I say this is a futures thing, don't try to use it for Forex. Unless I'm saying that at the time about that very specific thing or teaching, it's universal. The universal application of mental preparedness about trading, that's the first stage that you have to get yourself, you have to warm up to the idea that your first year, you're not making money. Can you, if you go out there and trade, get lucky? Sure, you can. Absolutely. But the chances of you doing that consistently, and that's okay for some of you, you just want to win a lottery win. I just want to get a payout. If I can just get this damn credit card paid off, I got over leveraged. They're charging me 36% a month. Oh, I just got to pay some debts off. You're doing it wrong. You're absolutely doing it wrong. So what I did was I asked my son, I said, where do you see yourself? If dad does not give you anything going forward, where do you see yourself? He talked about a welder and do his own welding business. He talked about being in HVAC and learning how to do that as a business. But he wants to be a business owner. So I love that part of it. I just don't like the fact that he wants to be a grunt. But I know that that has to happen. I've allowed him to work at a coffee shop. And as much as I hate hearing him bitch about how some people go in there and they talk down to him because they think, well, you're just a kid. You're just a kid. They don't know his pedigree. They don't know where he came from. I could buy and sell that fucking company. Bottom line is he has to be work hardened. He has to understand what keeps him doing the things and following the rules. Otherwise, he spends the rest of his life doing that kind of stuff, answering to the man. Can I have off? Can I go home early? Do I have to stay over because you asked me? Can I get a vacation on this week? See, these are questions that I don't want my children ever to have to ask for. And you know what? If that makes me sound like an arrogant prick to any of you, fuck you, because I don't want my children begging. You shouldn't be begging. I don't want any of you listening to me ever feeling like you're in that situation. And I don't want you to feel that way for your kids to grow up and depend, if you will, on somebody else feeding you or them. That's a terrible feeling. It sucks. You don't have control of your life. You have zero control of your life. You're at the mercy. If you're part of the working class, and let me tell you something, I was there. I did shit jobs. I told my wife we were driving around, and all this is pertinent to this conversation, by the way. So if this doesn't, scratch the itch, go watch something else or listen to something else, or complain to me on Twitter so I can block you. We were out taking a drive like we normally do, and I said, "How many jobs have you had in your lifetime? And when did you first start working?" And she's like, "Well, this, that." And she had 4 jobs. Started real young as a teenager. And when I was 16, my first job was a dishwasher. And long story short, I went through a lot of things, and I had 28 jobs. 28 W-2 paying jobs. Now, some of them I worked one day. Some of them I didn't even work a day. There was a place up in Bell Camp. It was a rubber tube manufacturing place. Place stunk really bad. I got in there and they were going to pay me $18 an hour. Back then it was great money. But I couldn't tolerate it. I just said one to the supervisor, I gotta go. Can't do this. Are you sure? Damn right I'm sure. I'm out of here. Don't even worry about that hour I've been here. Keep it. So I've had a lot of attempts to be an employee. I just failed at it. And guess what? I am proud to tell you, I failed as an employee because I shine as an entrepreneur. I'm not made to be somebody's fucking slave. I'm not made to be like that. And neither are you. But you're convinced and told otherwise by the shit you watch on TV, the movies that you watch, the people you hang around with. Man, I got a good job. What? There's no jobs that are good. None of them are good. None of them are good. So here's my son growing up, seeing the way we live, how we live, what we do. I don't look at price tags. If I want something, I buy it. Nobody tells me I can and can't. Whatever I want, I get. Whatever I want to drive, I buy. So how could he, as my son, understand the hardships that was felt for me and like all of you that have to do the same stuff until you don't have to anymore? How do they understand how to get past that? Or appreciate the fact that, yeah, this isn't the right way. They have to be put in a situation where they do it. But my kids aren't lazy. So when they get in there, they start doing it. You know what it was like when you first got your first paycheck, right? It's like, man, I got this is my money. I made this money. It's only like $300 and some after taxes, but damn it, that's your money. You earned it. It's something special about it. It's meaningful to you. It's not that it's a lot of money. It's just the fact that you earned it. You felt good because you did it. You went through the process to get there. Well, guess what that is? That's fucking trading. You traded your time, your energy, your life force, your time clock that's ticking down faster and faster as you get older. You gave up a lot of that, 40 hours for that week to get that minuscule pittance of money. Well done. You got raped. Well done. You got taken advantage of. And you're going to have the audacity to call it a good job. This is a good experience. No, it's not. It's experience. It's useful experience, but it's not good. It needs to be work hardening. That means you see it, you have to do it, you're told to do it, and you can't not do it to get paid. You have to do it. So you have to follow rules. You have to stay within a parameter. Do this, do that. Just to get paid off. But then you got to do it again. And where does that lead you? Nowhere. You're not going to make any money. So he has this mindset now. He doesn't come home defeated. He's just irritated because some people will come in and complain to him. But now he's got that feeling, what it feels like that someone looked down at you. I needed him to feel that. Because he's a, despite being arrogant, he's a likable guy. Okay, and nothing that I'm aware of, none of his friends, and he don't seem to run short on friends. And the girls that he pal around with, he's got one he's steady with now. She's getting ready to go to college. She leaves in a couple weeks. So she's leaving state to do her veterinarian career. So I told Cameron, I said, listen, this is such a perfect opportunity for you. Because here's what you can do. You can, if you decide that you want to do something blue collar like the HVAC tech and you want to go into running your own business like that as a the end result, that's wonderful. But this right here, this is the real thing. That is just a plan B that you don't really hope to even worry about. But you're doing that because her parents, they don't understand what we do. They obviously see how we live, but they don't understand what we do. As traders, it doesn't make any sense to them. Like, how can you? They don't understand that I make literally their entire year's salary in one fucking day to combine. And she's a nurse. In one day, one 24-hour interval, I make more than both of her parents' gross annual income in one 24-hour period. I do that. They can't comprehend that. That's unfathomable. What are you talking about? That's not even trying. That's just what it is. And none of your friends and your family are going to understand that when you start becoming madly successful too. You're going to spend the rest of your life trying to convince people that aren't going to have the capacity to understand. That's another thing that you're trying to do. You're going into this industry, try to trade, to try to show your friends and family you could do it. They are less than what you are, versus them saying you're going to fail. It's a pipe dream. And there's nothing wrong with using that as steam. So when you get those mile markers and you reach that next plateau in your development, and you understand, and you get funded, or you get a payout, or you're making money, look back and reflect on that and say, yeah. But that's for your journal. That's not for you to go up to them and say, hey, motherfucker, remember that time when you said blah, blah, blah? Look what I'm driving now, bitch. Look what I'm now. I'm making all this money now. But they're not going to look at you and say, wow, well done. They're going to do the same thing they did with me when I did that when I was 20-some years old. Get the fuck out of here, dickhead. You're conceited. You're conceited. Whatever. That's the reaction you're going to get. So you're not even going to get the reaction you want by doing those things. And that's exactly what my son wants to do. Still. So I get it. I mean, he's got that warrior mentality. He wants to go out there and show this and show that. He's definitely going to be a YouTuber. I'll just let you know. He will be a YouTuber. He's probably going to be the one that teaches Enigma because he wants to be that guy. So it is what it is. Okay. But he still has to correct some things. And what we did, we sat down. I told him, I said, listen, where do you see yourself in a couple of years from now? Because your girlfriend will be graduating college in 4 years. So in my mind, I think you have a 4-year a program or plan that you should follow. If you want to go to school to learn to be an HVAC or was HVAC tech, I don't think there's a college course for that. I think you got to go to a company. You got to work for a company, and they pay for you to go to school in the evening time or on weekends or whatever, and you become whatever. I think you sign a contract. As long as you work with them, they pay for it or something to that effect. And I may be absolutely incorrect in that assumption, but that's my understanding, or that's what I thought about it. I don't know anybody that actually did it. But I want him to go through this plan of 4 years. Whether he does that or not, I don't care. Personally, I don't care, because if he just listens to me, one way or the other, if I got to sit down and tell him, buy this, sell that, he's not going to work the rest of his life. But I need him to know how to do this correctly, so that way this information is passed on to his children, because I'm quite certain he's going to get this one he's with now pregnant when they get out of college and then they get settled down. I'm going to have grandkids with these two. And I'm happy for it. I love her like she's already part of our family. But I don't want her to finish her college coursework and get her degree in veterinarianism. Is it veterinarianism? She's going to be a veterinarian. I don't want her to come out of college and say, okay, I've done my thing for 4 years. Where are you? I don't want him saying, well, I'm a break-even trader, or I'm not trading anymore and I tried this, or this isn't going to work. So I said, here's what homes cost right now, average. We went through Zillow. We went through a couple different real estate agents' listings and things. I said, now, these are the property prices right now. In 4 years, they could be greatly different from what they are. But let's just say for the first starter home, you and your girlfriend say, okay, she graduates, you move in together, you get yourself a house, and we'll just say a $500,000 house is your first starter house. For some of you, that might be extravagant. To me, I think it's not even that big of a deal anymore, because real estate prices are jacked up, unrealistically. But to have a single family home, small little plot of land, and something that's manageable, easily managed, doesn't take a whole lot to manage that. And for him to have it before they get married, that would be important to me. But, and if you're listening, it's no offense meant by that, but I think a man and a woman should have a property before they marry. And it's just the way it is. And if you have one that's nicer than the other, you live in the other ones and you use the other ones around. That's the way I look at it. But too many times people get with people and they acquire something, and then all of a sudden now you're in court trying to fight who gets it when one party didn't really earn it. And that may sound sexist, but it's not. It's either or. Whichever one comes into the relationship, having the money or the affluence and the affordability to either pay for the property or own the property, the other person, just because they married them, should not be entitled to that. And that's just my mindset. Now, whatever you accrued during the marriage, that's absolutely 100% 50-50 down the middle, and there's no bones about it. But I think everyone as a young adult should be striving to secure a residence free and clear before they ever consider getting with someone, because that creates codependence. And if you've heard me teach before, I'm a very strong proponent of an independent mindset. And you have to have that as a trader to and be successful. And as a young adult, if you're listening, you should be striving to do those types of things. So that way, the person that's with you knows that you don't need their ass for shit, but just the compatibility on an emotional level, relationship wise. And anybody, you can go out there and find anybody to do the physical part, but you want to be with somebody that wants to be with you and not need to be with you because you have something or can afford something. So there's a lot of things I got to fix about my son because he wants the flash. He wants the arrogance. He wants to do all those things. And that will invite a lot of things that brought me to the situation I was as a young man, where I got messed around with by a gold digger. And that's not going to be the topic here, but I had to live my life a certain way to keep her from taking things from me. She didn't earn it. And those things are going to be the same problems that you're going to run into if you flash everything. If you show what you have all the time, you're inviting it. You're advertising. Hey, come take advantage of me. Come lie to me and tell me that you care about me, you love me. But then when you get what you can get, you're done. You're done. That's the problem. That's really a big problem today, because social media, image, all about this stuff. And now you've invited that to trading. You've made it next to impossible. You can't not be emotional about trading now. If social media is a large part of your trading and you're successfully, consistently profitable, wow, that is saying something, because I don't believe that helps anyone. It makes it harder. It means you have to live up to some expectation. So we sat down and I told him, I said, listen, let's assume for your first property, it's going to cost you $500,000. And you want to have some money in the bank. So after you pay the house off, say you got to have $150,000. So you're looking at $650,000. You got to have that in 4 years. So how are you going to do that? And he looked at me and he was like, I don't know. I said, well, that part's easy, but you need to understand that what you're doing right now and how you think and how you behave isn't going to get you there. It won't even get you 10% there. You're not going to do well unless you listen. You've already tried it your way, and did it work? No. So there's this little thin, razor small window of opportunity where you now have got yourself funded. You over leveraged, so you broke the rules I laid down for you. I don't give a shit about Top Step's rules. Top Step is absolutely easy to pass. And I'm going to teach you this today. Okay? I'm going to teach it to you today, so that way there's no fucking excuse for you guys to go out there and complain about, oh, well, they're trailing this and they're trailing that. Oh, they're this, that, they won't let me do this. It's easy as shit to pass that. There isn't a funded account challenge out there that is not passable. That's so easy. The problem is you're going in with these too fast expectations for yourself. But don't let me sound like I'm sugar sweet on any of these companies, because I'm going to tell you some shit they probably didn't think about, and they're going to be mad I said it today. So I don't want to hear any shit about it. It's just my opinion. My son's got himself into this, so now I'm going to show him a solution to get through it.